this computer. Okay, and we're recording. All right, well, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for giving us another listen. Today, I'm joined by Lloyd Ross, and he is going to be talking to us about network marketing, which is something that I profess I know very, very little about, but Lloyd's the guru, so I'm looking forward to learning all about it. So how about first we introduce Lloyd? G'day, Lloyd. How are you?
Hello, everyone. Good. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
No worries. We're looking forward to gaining your expertise. But maybe just before we dive into it, just tell me and the audience what's your favourite thing to do when you're not earning $1?
Sure thing. That is a favourite thing. Although being recently married and having a couple of little dogs, we do like to hang out on weekends, but also do a lot of travelling. So traveling's a big, like for many, I suppose, a bit of an exciting hobby. So we travel as much as we can, but we just do normal things on weekends, hang out with family. Got a pretty large family, so they require a bit of attention.
Oh, very good. Where's the last place you travelled to?
Good question. We went, where did we go to? We went to Fiji. That's right. Yeah, my wife's sister.
Yeah.
This yelled out Fiji. So we went to Fiji in November. It was unbelievable. It was fantastic.
Bit of snorkeling there?
We didn't get to do much snorkeling, but we did stay in one of those water villas, so it was quite fun to be able to just wake up, jump off, order room service. It was amazing. Yeah,
that would be beautiful. All right, well, fantastic. Thanks for sharing that. And tell us a bit about your professional background before you got onto the network marketing space. What did you do, that led to this?
So. I'm actually a triple graduate from university. I went and did a biomed science degree, an MBA, and then a law degree, which was kind of perverse if you think about university and how hard that can be.
Yeah.
All the time you spend without earning any income. So I didn't really know what I wanted to do, I think. And I think a lot of people are like that coming out of school. So I tested a lot of things. I finished those degrees and then became a lawyer and went into corporate property development and did that overseas internationally. So I didn't stay in law too long, and then came back to Australia and got into some traditional business in marketing around the property sector. So that's what I've done, before I got into this particular industry of network marketing. So it was quite a diverse background. And
so what led you to step away from that? What was the negatives or what was the element of that wasn't quite working for you?
Well, you don't know what you don't know, I suppose. And at the time, I just thought the whole 9 to 5 to 6 days a week, the big 60-hour weeks was just how you earned $1. And I didn't really know what I was missing out on. But how it changed was my older sister, who's actually a nurse by profession, she started in network marketing, and she introduced myself and my wife about 3.5 years ago.
Right.
And knowing a little bit about it, I was very skeptical about the whole industry. And I suppose that was just because I was uneducated and I didn't realise that it had actually matured in the last 20 years. But we looked into it again and I thought, this has really come a long way. And with the power of social media and the quality of the products and the way that dropshipping works and all that sort of stuff, it just dawned on me how powerful of a business model it could be. So that's when we looked at it. And that's when we decided to build a business from it. And now it's really our main. What started was as a side hustle, as you call it. It became a main hustle.
Jeez, and how long ago did you start this as a side hustle even?
Okay, so we started 3.5 years ago. My sister introduced us to these particular products that helped us to manage our weight and our health and energy. So they're nutritional products. So we started for that particular purpose and having great results. I think I lost about 14 kilos quite relatively quickly. And I thought, these are great products. And I thought a few people could use these products. So I started to share that organically with some friends and family. I thought, we're earning a little bit of money from doing that, which I thought was quite clever. I didn't think you could earn money with network marketing. So I was quite surprised and shocked. And so that would be when we said, okay, let's go to one of these events and find out how this works. We did that. We're blown away totally by how far the industry had matured and come. And we're blown away by the particular company, their values, that we shared their values of integrity and all that sort of stuff. So we looked into it further, we learned a bit, and then we established it. So this is now 3 years ago. We'd used the products for 6 months and about 6 months in, we thought, let's look at this as a proper side hustle.
Yep.
So I was working full time in my property business. Alicia was working full-time, who's my wife, as a paralegal, so in the corporate 9 to 5. And we just started sharing with friends and family outside that. And we did most of our stuff just posting on Facebook and different things, and had people come to us. We got them started. And that was the side hustle we created. And lo and behold, before we knew it, we had enough income to pay for our rent, which was a first goal. And then, yeah, it built from there.
And what now? This is your and Alicia's full-time job.
Yes, it's our main hustle. I actually still work with my property consulting business. So I still got that running. But this takes up most of my time now. And Alicia's now effectively retired herself from her corporate job as a paralegal. So she does this full-time. I do it full-time with her. And we're earning, more money than what we had before. And so it's I was shocked that it could become a main hustle.
Gee, congratulations. That's fantastic. And in a relatively short period of time too.
Yeah, it's quite, we're blown away when we look back as to how far we've come in that short period of time. And when I look at it in terms of what a university degree can take in terms of time, they're traditionally 3 or 4 years long, depending which one you do, or longer. And you come out of a university degree with not much practical experience, not a really great network, and no income. So,
and debt, usually.
And sometimes a heck debt, right? So if I align it to that and I compare it to that, it is so incredible. It's a wonderful business degree, I suppose you could say.
Now, I'm keen to dive into, how you've done that and what makes you successful. But I feel that before we do that, let's just give everyone, myself included, because I'm naive to this, what is network marketing? Give us an example and a what does it mean, and practically what is it?
Really easy. I don't know if my internet's a bit unstable. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. So network marketing is where you align with a company that produces a product. They manufacture a product, and that could be a skin product, a health product, whatever it might be. There's multiple different products that companies produce. And they provide the product. They ship the product to your customer's front door. They do the branding and the marketing materials and so on. And they provide the training and the events. And all we provide is the customer creation. So we find the customers and we, do the selling to the customers and the marketing online. And we do all of our marketing via social media, whether it be LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. That's where most businesses would do their marketing these days anyway. But it's a free platform, as everybody knows. And most people have some sort of network on that platform. So it seems sensible to market a product to that network that's going to help them in some form or another. And so the great thing about network marketing is you don't have to actually create the product. You don't have to do the shipping. You don't have to hold inventory. You don't even have to do your bookkeeping because you get paid. This particular company pays weekly. You just do the fun part, which is what they call the hustle or the advertising, finding the customers, doing the selling, following up, supporting your customers. But really where it becomes very powerful with network marketing that a lot of people aren't aware of perhaps is that any of your customers, if they have incredible results like you have and they love the product and they have a little bit of nous in terms of business, then you can actually train them up to be a representative as well. And you both share in their customer accumulation together. So you can build business partners, and that's when it becomes very powerful because we actually can ship to 14 countries internationally. Right. And when you can develop business partners in those particular countries who then can find customers of their own and they have large networks, it's very, very powerful as an income model. So it compounds over time.
And do you get a particular territory? Like how do you stop? How do you not trip over other people also selling the same product?
You do actually trip over them.
Okay.
There's no territories as such, but if you're in a good company and they have good integrity and good values and principles, then if you do come across someone else doing it, work as a team because what you work out is there's endless potential customers in the world. There's enough for everybody, and you really just help one another to, you don't step on anyone's toes.
Yep.
I suppose. Yeah, everyone respects everyone's person that they're talking to or their space, and you get a little bit of crossover, but I think everyone's good-natured about it.
And are the prices set so that at least if there is crossover, it's not one person undercutting another person?
Yep. completely set. The company sets them, so you can't modify the price. And if you've ever done any marketing university, or any viewers have done any marketing at university, you talk about price, place, distribution, communication, or the 4 Ps: price, place, promotion, product. So the great thing about network marketing is you don't have to do the product part, you don't have to do the price part, you only have to do the promotion part and the what was the other one? Place. You don't have to do that. You just do the promotion part of the 4 Ps in marketing, which is incredible.
Yeah. Jeez. All right. So that makes a lot of sense. I like it. Okay. So for someone to be successful in a network marketing business, what are the skills or attributes that they need?
Great question. And because not everyone can be successful at network marketing, it's just like business, because it is still a business. It's just that you outsource a lot of the stuff that you would need to do as a traditional business owner. So what makes someone successful at network marketing genuinely is someone who is coachable to learn a set of systems. So if they're open to learning how to market on social media well, and they're being coached by us and the company. So someone who's coachable, someone who, probably has an existing network that's reasonably big, perhaps 500 plus friends on Facebook or Instagram. Right. Someone that has a lot of grit. And I think that's important in any business. If someone's opening a business, whether it be in a financial planning business or a legal business, you have to have some grit, because you have to be able to be okay with customers saying, no, I don't want to buy, or finding clients or finding customers is always the hardest part of any business. So if you've got grit and you've got determination, then I think if you're coachable, determination, and an existing network, I really think you can be successful.
And I would imagine, as you've illustrated with the fact that you kicked it off as a part-time, as a side hustle, and then developed it from there, that from a, fitting it in with your life perspective, it would be quite an attractive proposition. If people have got a job or they've got family, kids, whatever else to juggle, they can manage this in whatever time they've got available.
Totally. It's incredible what is available to someone with network marketing while they're working full-time, because if you look at, and you would know this well, being from the financial planning area and an expert there, is that when you want to start a traditional business, it takes a lot of capital. It might take someone $100,000 to open an F45 gym. It might take someone $1 million to open a McDonald's franchise. It might take someone $100,000 to open a typical consulting practice. With network marketing, it costs a few $100s to get started. So the capital startup is it's like half your weekly salary. It's very little, and that's very attractive. So it does attract a lot of people in that respect, and then the ones that are quite good at it stay. But it doesn't, because you don't have to do all those other things like produce a product and do this and do this and do this. You actually don't have to spend a lot of time at it initially to make money. So when we first started, we would do what we called an hour of power. We would come home from work at, say, 6 o'clock at night. We'd sit in the car downstairs before we came up home, and we sit in the car on our phones, and we would just do an hour of power of posting on Facebook and connecting with people on Messenger. And that's how you network these days, online, and you advertise online. So we just did the basics of business, which is connecting with potential customers, following some customers up, and obviously advertising online. That was it. So to your point, super, super effective for anyone who is doing the 30, 40, 50-hour weeks, because you don't need to spend a lot of time initially.
Yeah. Gee, and I love the hour of power idea. That's a great tip for people, I think. A great idea. Yeah. Well done. So you mentioned that as an industry, network marketing's evolved a lot over the last 20 years. So I guess some people, if they're thinking about network marketing, maybe they're thinking about Tupperware or Nutrimetics or something like that, right? Yeah. But I don't even know. I mean, is Tupperware still around anymore? I've got no idea. But it is. Exactly. Okay. Well, there you go. But that's very different to what you're describing, right? So talk to me about, there'll be people listening that might have negative perceptions because of maybe some of those past business models that, weren't ideal. So just talk me through what's happened there evolution wise, and perhaps give people a bit of comfort around this as a potential opportunity. Yeah.
It's really interesting you bring that up, because when I first heard about network marketing from my sister again, my brain instantly went to, Amway. And I'm not saying Amway's bad, but how much soap do I have to buy before I make $1? And all this white noise in the back of my mind about how you brought up and what you heard and so on. Tupperware's another one. Do I have to have a little party? All that stuff. And that's the traditional thought process of network marketing, which I totally get. But it's evolved in terms of the types of products now available. So the one we're involved in is a nutrition product, and there's obviously a massive nutrition trend in terms of getting in shape and stuff. There's a huge super trend there. So that's great. So it's a really effective product. So it's not just Tupperware for mums, but our product is also consumable because it's a food replacement. So because it's consumable, people reorder it, and it creates this great residual income model, which is very powerful. And when it elicits an emotional response in transforming someone's body, they become a walking billboard for it. So they can't help but share it with people. So aligning yourself with a company like ours that has a consumable product, produces and elicits an emotional response in a super trend, it's very, very powerful. And we were very lucky just to fall into that. But when we did come to it, my mind was around those old beliefs in network marketing, and I had to change that. And so I was open to that. So I went in and I learnt about it and I changed it. It's totally different now. But one of the biggest changes or innovations in network marketing that I believe, or two big ones, actually there's three. Let's go with three. The three are, firstly, the company drop ships now. So it actually ships direct to a customer. So you don't have to have all that washing powder or product in your garage where your friends coming over and you don't have to distribute any of that. Right? All you can do is send a link and they order it and it comes to their house. It's incredible. So
fantastic.
That's a big one. So on what we call online shopping or online retail has been a huge change to how people buy. So that's the first thing. The second thing has been online networks, because before social media existed, you had to have a traditional network. So you had to have a phone book with all these people in it, and you had to call them up or text them, whatever it might be. And a lot of people don't have that or didn't have that. So now we have natural online networks. They're a byproduct of social media. So social media was a big one. So thanks to Mark Zuckerberg. The third one is mobile phones. So the smartphone has changed the way we can do business. We can do business from anywhere. So we can run our network marketing business from anywhere, incidentally. So three big things. Jeff Bezos, thank you for Amazon and making people okay with buying online. Thank you to Mark Zuckerberg for the social media explosion. And thank you to Steve Jobs for inventing the iPhone, because those three innovations in technology have totally changed the state of play for network marketing.
Jeez. Well done. And so what are the typical products sold? You've mentioned that you do, weight loss health product, but how else is this business model used? Because I would imagine someone entering it, they'd want to find something that aligns with them. And so obviously for you and Alicia at work, the health and that sort of stuff, but I guess that's not everyone's cup of tea. So what other products or how else does network marketing work for people?
Well, there's actually thousands of network marketing companies that are created every year, incidentally, that people may not know of. And the ones that you want to be aligned with are ones that have been probably around for 10 years or more, because like any business, they fail too. And so you want to be aligned with one that's not failing, or it's obviously growing in its domestic market, in its international market, it's not growing too quickly. There's a few things you want to make sure of there. We just liked it. But the reality is you want to find one like that. And obviously each one of those companies produces different products, like you just said. So some of the products might be skincare. There's a lot around that. Some might be vitamins. Some might be a nutrition replacement like ours. And there's a couple that do it. Some might be electricity and reducing your electricity bill. Some might be financial brokerage platforms. There's a lot of that going on since Bitcoin now, like giving someone the network marketing model to go and share it with friends and be an affiliate for those types of assets. So it can be lots of things, but typically it's usually the most powerful ones are a consumable product style. So skincare is consumable because you use the cream. Nutrition is because you eat it. Vitamins are same sort of thing. I think those ones are probably more powerful. But if someone's looking for a network marketing opportunity, the company is very important because it's got to have a great product, because you don't want to share a crappy product with your friends or family. I think that's important. You want to believe in it, and each to their own with what type of product that might be, but do your due diligence on that. The second one is making sure the company is going to be around for a long time and they have good values, honesty, integrity, looking after the people, great systems and so on. The third one is making sure their compensation plan is very fair and equitable. And so because you can get caught up with a network marketing company that keeps a lot of the profit themselves instead of giving it to the people in the field. So you want to have someone that's got a very generous compensation plan, and we happen to probably have the most generous in the industry. So that's another benefit too. So all these factors have to kind of line up And so if any of the viewers are out there wanting to get into network marketing, make sure you do due diligence on the company, how long it's been around, the products, how good are they, and how good the compensation plan and the values of the company are.
Yeah, great tips. And even, I mean, how long the company's been around, for one, it's about stability and those sort of things, but it also demonstrates that actually consumers want the product. I mean, it wouldn't have survived if, and if you're trying to sell it, you want to know, you're backing a winner here. That longevity suggests that they're selling a product that consumers will buy. So, no, great tips. And do you need to, I think, perhaps you've answered this because of, you said it's about social media channels, but is this something where you need to be a slick salesperson or not?
It's a good question. That's a very interesting question you asked, because sometimes people ask me, they say to me, Lloyd, I don't know if I'll be any good at this because I can't sell. The reality is slick salespeople don't do well at network marketing because traditionally they don't, because if they're too good, the customers that they're bringing on will look at them and say, well, I could never do that. And as a result, they're not going to be able to instill any belief in their customers that they can represent the product to and train them up to be their own representative and go and sell it. So the more relatable you are, the better. And the reality is you don't even try and sell a product. You just try and find buyers that would need this particular product, link them up, follow a simple system, and then they buy it themselves because they need it. Like, you don't want to sell a product to someone that doesn't need it. That's very car salesman-y, and we're just not into that type of selling. Yeah. We want to connect buyers to value.
And I guess also, you're saying before the best ones are consumable type products. And I'd imagine that's important from a financial perspective, because what you really want is repeat purchases, right? Once it costs you to acquire a client, customer, 100%. Once you've got that customer, you don't want them to just buy once. So again, there's no point flogging them something that they don't want. As you 100%. Say, you've got to get that good fit, haven't you?
100%. There's actually a network marketing or a few network marketing companies that are in the fitness tech space, like, the Fitbits and stuff like that. I don't know the exact details of the products, but they're a network marketing model. And the problem, one of the limiting things with that is that, yes, they buy that item once and they don't keep reordering it. Yeah. So to your point, if it's a consumable, not only do your current customers reorder every month or every 2 weeks, whenever it is, but they actually they find others that reorder as well. So yeah, it's very powerful.
Gee, well done, well done. So, okay, so we've covered off what network marketing is. We know that you don't need to be a slick salesperson, and primarily it's about social media, but as you say, learning systems. So if someone comes into a network marketing environment, normally they'd come in under someone else who would have some systems and processes that are proven so they can adopt those. Yep. Doesn't require a lot of initial investment, which would be attractive to a lot of people. Very flexible around your time. I mean, it does seem to tick a heck of a lot of boxes for a lot of people in terms of if they want to generate some extra income and work towards that financial autonomy goal. And it's something that, as you've demonstrated, if you wanted, you could develop into, your full-time gig if you chose. You don't have to, but it's possible.
Yeah. Totally. And it's for some people and it's not. Like, some people might just want to make that extra $500 a week.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And that's why it's so flexible. And I think it's very malleable for someone who doesn't have a lot of business experience either, because you can learn that. And as we say, you earn more you learn, which is really cool.
Well done. All right. Well, look, fantastic. Thanks very much. I mean, certainly I've learned a lot, and I'm sure a lot of other people have too. If any of the financial autonomy community want to get in touch with you, ask you any questions or anything like that, where can they find you, Lloyd?
Sure thing. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn and Instagram. So if you look for me on Facebook, it's Lloyd J. Ross. And then if you want me on LinkedIn, it's Lloyd James Ross. And if you want me on Instagram, my handle is Lloyd James Ross, all one word. So any of those, if you want to add me. If you want to send me a personal message or DM, go for it. I'm happy to have a chat with you and make sure that you're on the right track when starting your first network marketing business. Happy to help.
Fantastic. All right. Well, there's several different channels that everyone can get a hold of Lloyd. So whatever your particular social platform, preference is, you've got an avenue there. So thank you very much for being so generous in sharing your knowledge and your expertise and your experience. I'm sure, a lot of people, certainly me, but I'm sure a lot of the listeners will get great value out of that. So thanks again for being so generous with your time, Lloyd.
Absolute pleasure, Paul. And thanks very much for being open-minded and having me on and letting me share that with everyone, because it's really nice to make sure people understand it a lot better than what they probably do. So thanks again.
Fantastic. All right, Lloyd. Bye-bye.
See ya.